Hello. I actually just went live and now I'm going live again. So tonight we're going to be talking about how you can step into your I'm the shit era where you give yourself full permission to be seen and you grant yourself a full body yes to feel safe being seen as you obtain increasing visibility, swiping right to being seen and swiping left to hiding. And it took me a long time to feel safe in my skin with increasing amounts of visibility. And I know many of you entrepreneurs and leaders in communities and business and careers have felt like that. And if you have, like me, you've put a lot of pressure on yourself to be who you think people want you to be. And I have clients now that don't expect a certain version of me other than who I am. However, that wasn't always the case. So, and because I hid parts of myself, I hid parts of myself because I thought I had to fit some sort of goodness gracious, cookie cutter version of me because I had achieved a certain level of visibility. And I was like, okay, well, this is who they need me to be. This is who they expect me to be. And while there's something to be said about embodying a level of leadership, um, diminishing parts of you and hiding parts of you in order to fit into a box is not why we become leaders. It's not why we become entrepreneurs. It's not why we become leaders in communities. We do that so that way we can embody a level of leadership where we feel safe being ourselves and we encourage others to do the same. So, if you are like me, where you hid parts of yourself and you rejected parts of yourself, um, you're most likely repelling soulmate clients that would love those parts of you. And that means you're attracting soulmate clients if you have a business that may not like those parts of you. And in not liking those parts of you, it can make you feel resentment in showing up for your business or resentment in showing up as a leader for your career. Or it may make you feel resentful in showing up even at home for your family because you're not fully expressing all aspects of who you are. And I've seen this happen to me in the workplace where I hid parts of myself in order to fit a certain mold. And in doing that, it made me feel like I was playing small for myself. I was rejecting myself. And of course, what happened? People still rejected you because there was some part of you that rejected yourself. So we're also going to be talking about intentional projection. And projection often gets this bad reputation because we're often associating projection with projecting your insecurities, projecting some negative aspect of yourself. And that is absolutely possible. However, you can also project your light. You can project the parts of you that you're absolutely, enamored with. And sometimes we even project the parts of us that we see other people fully embodying and we haven't fully owned within ourselves because of our own unworthiness around being seen. So we're going to talk about that as well. And this will help you, especially if you are an entrepreneur in the coaching space or if you have embodied some form of heart based leadership in your business. Because when you can fully witness you and when you feel fully worthy of being seen within yourself, that is what radiates in your energy. That is what other soulmate clients will be attracted to. That is what will help you be seen as a more confident, self assured leader in your business or in your career space. And it will help you feel more grounded in your identity as the version of you that always had that confidence and self assurance and trust to be that heart based leader that your family needed, or for instance, me, I'm a mom, so what my girls need. So let's get started. I know that you want to trust yourself with more visibility and you don't want to feel like you're a fraud, yet you're not sure how authentic you're allowed to be in perhaps your coaching space or in your business or even with your family. And there's this consistent like Platoing that you're doing. And I don't mean Plato, the philosopher, I mean Platoing, like molding that you're doing to fit into certain spaces in order for you to feel worthy and enough to be seen. Um, excuse me. And it creates a lack of self trust. Right. Yeah. I was making sure I said that correctly. It creates a lack of self trust and it causes you to repel opportunities that you could get if you did feel safe being seen. So, what I mean by that, if you are diminishing, playing small, making yourself less than in order for people to attune to who you want them to think you are, there's opportunities that would absolutely feel exciting and you would be excited to wake up to if you didn't repel or reject parts of you that would repel those loving opportunities, right? So if you can clean up the stories around being seen, this would help you squeeze the juice out of opportunities that absolutely would nourish you in all the ways possible. And I know the difference between a opportunity that glitters and isn't, that is fool's gold, and that's what you will attract if you don't know how to feel safe being seen, and the opportunities that just make you feel super excited to wake up to every day, the people that you get to serve when you wake up to yourself every day feeling seen, and those other people enjoy seeing you as well. So I want you to ask yourself, if you are still working on feeling safe being seen, if you're still working on understanding how to maintain a level of sovereignty, confidence, and self-assurance when you are increasing your visibility with your business or your career and people are starting to look to you for answers, are you also not trusting yourself to have the solutions that you're seeking? And are you looking to others for solutions? And this doesn't mean that you don't have to be someone that can be coachable, for example. It doesn't mean that you can't have a mentor. It doesn't mean that you can't seek advice from times from trusted sources. What it does mean is that you're not constantly looking for someone to validate your thoughts, your ideas, something that you want to do before actually doing it. Like, you shouldn't always need someone to help you pass go before you do it. And that could be due, if that's happening with you, because of your fear of being seen as a failure, or because of your fear of being even holding success and not knowing that you can maintain it. Or perhaps you are still operating from the projection of a past lens. And what do I mean by that? You're still operating from seeing out into the world through the eyes of your failed attempts. And in doing that, it's causing you to have something called confirmation bias, where your brain and your ego are selectively looking for ways that will validate why you being seen a certain way will cause you to fail in some part of your life. And that's why we have to be extremely intentional about what we are projecting out through our thoughts, through our emotions, through our body language, through our expectations and of certain outcomes, through our attachment to certain outcomes, because what we're projecting out will absolutely be reflected back. And this is something that I've had to work on as well. So I understand how it feels to like be like, why the heck does it feel like I'm doing all of the work, I'm reading all of the books, I'm doing the mindset work, I'm doing the journaling, and it still feels like I'm on this same episode of Groundhog Day, right? But there's no Bill Murray that's showing up to save our day, right? So all of that to say, I want you to be extremely intentional about what you are projecting out. Intentional projection. So, no longer outsourcing your value to others by expecting everyone to save us. I know I've had the savior complex myself, and knowing that you hold the solutions to the problems that you may be having because of your fear of being seen and because of perhaps your fear of being seen as a failure or even a success. Um, and this brings me to another point. We often look at our lives, look at our problems, and we look at our problems and we say, and we give so much credence to our problems. We feed our problems with energy, with attention, with concentration, and we outsource our ability to solve those problems. We look at our solutions as far away, as maybe in time, as something that is not even close to us. We don't see the problems that we're trying to solve as already solved. We don't see ourselves as the frequency of the solution. We don't realize, and this is something that Nero's knowledge absolutely helped me conceptualize. So I suggest you listen to him as well. He's just amazing. Um, the level of adversity that you feel in being seen is a reflection of the strength that you already have. You wouldn't have the adversity that you've experienced in being seen if you didn't already contain the solution to the adversity. If you didn't already contain the frequency of the solution. This is what Penny Pierce says in her book as well. With the book is actually titled Frequency. So if it's starting to feel heavy in your body, heavy in your shoulders, perhaps even tight in your throat when it comes to you being seen, perhaps having to share a certain message, perhaps having to share a certain idea, and you're wondering how other people will perceive it or receive it. Perhaps you're even, writing a book or about to launch a service and you're just wondering how others will take it. I want you to ask yourself if you've become so attached to the problem that you are making the solution far away. And if you are feeding the frequency of the problem more than you're feeding the frequency of the solution, because both of them exist right now. They are dualities of each other. They're polar opposites of each other. Just like, and this is something as again from Nero's knowledge, just like black and white are polar opposites, just like male and female are polar opposites, just like right and wrong, yes and no, bad and good, problem, solution. They are polar opposites. The only difference between a problem and a solution is the rate of vibration, which means that how much attention you're giving to either the solution or the problem. So, if your problem is some fear in being seen, perhaps not feeling enough, perhaps not knowing if you're good enough to be seen, perhaps not feeling like you fit a certain look or a stereotypical look of what you think you're supposed to look like in order for you to feel worthy of being seen as a leader in your space. I know that I've had that with like feeling like I was supposed to fit a certain body image, and it affected my ability to be seen and see myself as a leader, where that projected out into the universe that I didn't have people see me as a leader because I didn't see myself as one. If you're attached to that problem and you're feeding that problem more than you're feeding the solution, then I want you to be intentional about your projections and what you're projecting out into the universe. And through your own thoughts and emotions and your body and your nervous system and your attachment to the outcome. So this is something that we'll be doing if you work with me one-on-one, or if you get a taste of what it's like to work with me with my I Heal sessions, and it's an acronym. I Heal stands for intention, H for harmonize your thoughts, E for elevate your emotion, A for align the body, and this is where we get safe and feeling comfortable in our body, and L for letting go of the attachment. So in my one-on-one program, what I'll help you do is I'll help you identify the energy leaks in how you trust yourself to be seen. How is affecting you to make certain decisions that may or may not be feeding your desired outcome? What thoughts you're having and what thoughts are feeding your desired outcome and what thoughts perhaps need to be swept away, and what emotions you're embodying. Are you feeling self-assured, or are you having self-deprecating thoughts and emotions that are causing you to feel like you're taking 2 steps forward and 101 steps backward? Do you feel connected to your body? Do you feel at ease and relaxed in your body when you're making certain decisions that will cause you to have more eyes on you, more visibility? Or are you, oh my goodness, I lost the train of thought that I was going on. Or are you or are you having an imposter syndrome where you're now seeing yourself as a fraud and you're wondering if you're capable of being seen and if people are going to receive you? My gosh, I think I need to go to sleep after this. Are you attached to the outcome so much that you are repelling it from happening? And this is where we are worried about the outcome happening, that we are making our value be connected to our desired outcome happening. We have to get to a point where we may not know what happens when we allow ourselves to be seen in certain spaces. We're not going to know the outcome. However, we can put our desired outcome out to the universe, and we can also make sure that we are not creating a sense of, goodness, make sure I turn my battery in, a sense of worthiness around if our outcome comes to fruition. We can already feel worthy no matter whether or not the outcome that we desire comes to fruition. So again, making sure that we are projecting out into the universe what we desire. And this is what we'll be working on in either one of my one-off sessions with my iHeal session or with my one-on-one program. So in the one-on-one program, especially, we'll be having the iHeal sessions every other week. And we'll also have my coaching modules. You'll have access to my time collapsing module where you will squeeze time using my energetic principles so you can create the outcome that you'd like in a time that you would anticipate it happening, again, without being attached to the outcome. And we will do that as well as having your decision protocol where you have a way of trusting yourself to make the decisions that you need to make when you are being seen, so you can maintain a level of confidence and self-assurance without feeling like a fraud when you are being seen for your gifts when it comes to your business or your career. And you will also have access to my self-trust accelerator framework where you allow yourself to make decisions no matter what situation is happening. So that way you can continue to be seen as the sovereign, confident being that you are, and connect to the version of you that is already at your next level without moving backward and overthinking about how you're looking or how you're received. Okay, let's move forward. So some of the mistakes that you're making when it comes to you being seen is that we are often, and this is something that I do as well, we often put so much pressure on ourselves to make a safe space for the people that we are serving. So we're making a safe space for our clients. We're making a safe space for our employees. We're making a safe space for our family members. And we forget that the safe space that we create for others is limited to the safe space we've created within ourselves. So if you haven't created a safe space where you allow yourself to be seen for all of you, and you're not diminishing parts of you because you perceive them to be less than or bad or not worthy or not enough, if you have those types of self-deprecating thoughts and emotions and it's coming out in your body language, then no amount of you making others feel safe will overcome the degree to which you don't feel safe within yourself. So the safety has to come from within in order for you to have an intentional projection of that safety outward to the people that you're serving. So, mistake number one, not making ourselves feel safe is the reason why our fears of being seen are preventing us from showing up fully for our clients, for the people that we're meant to serve. And mistake number two is the people-pleasing aspect. Now, I am a recovering people pleaser, and I have to catch myself when I people please. And our fears of being seen and not allowing ourselves to be seen and not feeling safe being seen, where we can, I like to call it like swiping right to being seen and swiping left to hiding, our degree to which we allow ourselves to be seen is often due to how much or how little we people please and how much we feed our inner approval seeker. So this is what Dr. Aziz Gazipouros calls in his book, Not Nice, our inner approval seeker is the version of ourselves that people pleases in order for us to be accepted by others. And we will do that unconsciously because of our primitive desire to be accepted by others, because our ancestors weren't, if they weren't accepted, if they weren't in a group, if they didn't have other people helping them to survive, they died. So that ancestral memory is still replaying on a subconscious level in our brains. So because of that, we may should ourselves into a whole bunch of people-pleasing patterns that prevent us from being seen as who we are. And we put ourselves in a box of being seen for who we think people want us to be. And in doing that, we prevent ourselves from being seen fully. We don't give ourselves permission to be seen fully because we hide or make some part of ourselves not good. And in doing that, it repels the opportunities, the clients that we do want to serve and we do want to be a part of, because we're attracting more of what we don't want because of our own form of self-rejection. So start to take note of your shoulds. And this is what Dr. Aziz Gazipouros says in his book, again, Not Nice. What shoulds are you ascribing to? Is this ascribing? Goodness, it's almost 1:00. Ascribing, is that even a word? What shoulds are you dedicated to that no longer need your dedication? Should you rock the boat? Should you say something that is only agreeable by the masses, by the status quo? Are you allowed? Are you holding space for yourself to be disagreed with? Are you only allowing yourself to be seen when people agree with you? Are you making yourself bad or wrong or shaming yourself or making yourself guilty because people disagree with you? How are the shoulds of how many people agree with you? Should people agree with me? Should I be seen as someone that is problematic, right? How are those shoulds affecting how you're seen? And how are you being seen as someone other than the authentic version of yourself because of those shoulds, because of those people-pleasing patterns and tendencies? How are those shoulds feeding your imposter syndrome? Questions to dissect. Now, here's what you can do. Again, you can use my I Heal method. And this is what we'll be doing in my one-on-one I Heal sessions, my one-off I Heal sessions, or my one-on-one coaching. We will use my I Heal method because your intention and your projection of your intention is absolutely essential to what outcome happens. And your intention needs to be very clear. If you're scattered with your thoughts, if you think every negative thought is true, if you consistently go back and forth with your inner critic about whether or not you deserve to be seen and all the reasons why you don't deserve to be seen, and if you are believing every thought to be true instead of looking at each thought from a third person perspective, like Michael Singer says in his book Untethered Soul, how is that affecting your energy and the outcome of your desires? Are you repelling what you want in your life, and are you attracting more of what you don't want? We have to dissect that. We have to get to the root of that. We have to make sure that you are acting and behaving and making decisions in a way that serves your desired reality. Are you harmonizing your thoughts? This is where the I Heal method comes into. Intention, creating strong intention, and are you harmonizing your thoughts around your intentions? Are you elevating your emotions when you are feeling not enough? When you are feeling like you're being rejected, how are you going to more deeply accept yourself? And then how can you align the body, align your nervous system to feeling less tense and more relaxed, more at ease, more just fine with you, knowing that you got this? And how can you let go of expectations and putting so much pressure on yourself to have what you want right now, and to instead allow things to unfold, knowing that you can make daily progress towards your goals when you allow yourself to be seen? And yes, you can use my time collapsing module in the one-on-one program to collapse time to make your desires come to your reality right now. However, that can only shift you to a degree to which you understand that what you want wants you, and that you are the solution that you're seeking right now, and that what you have and what you're able to have is what you already have decided to have within your heart right now. And how can you let go of needing your worth to be tied to your outcome happening right now? And that's where the L comes in with the I Heal method. So we will dissect all of your inner workings, and get to the root of why you may be holding yourself back, why you may feel like a fraud when it comes to being seen, why certain self-sabotaging habits may cause you to wobble in making certain decisions that can help you get to your next level faster when it comes to your business, or when it comes to your career, or just when it comes to embodying higher levels of leadership, where you trust yourself to maintain a certain level of visibility without feeling like you have to hide, without feeling like you have to swipe left and put yourself in a box of dimensions that you aren't even choosing, dimensions that you feel like others have put upon you and that you have to subject yourself to. That is what we will be doing in our I Heal method with my one-on-one program, or just get a taste of what it's like to work with me in my I Heal session. So thank you for watching this live, and make sure you just ground yourself in knowing that you can step into your I'm the shit era at any time when you decide that being seen is your birthright, and not, what's a good word for an anti-birthright? Oh gosh, let's not go to the anti-birthright. I don't even want to go there. So either way, being seen, stepping into your I'm the shit era, that is absolutely your right to do. You don't have to convince others of it. One of the biggest high fives you can give yourself is knowing that you can thrive without needing other people to see it. You just knowing you can do it and be it, that's the gift in itself. And that's what we will be doing when you overcome your fears of being seen, so that way you can stop seeing yourself as a fraud, as an imposter, and know that you're the leader that someone else is seeking right now. So long as you see yourself as the leader that you've been seeking and step into that version and identity of you. So reach out to work with me one-on-one or get one of my I Heal sessions, and I will see you again soon. DM me, and I send you so much love.